Yes, as you just heard, that was my intro. That is right. You heard that correctly. Although very, very simple and basic, Find Your Fortitude finally has an intro because I just got sick and tired of talking about my quote unquote podcast and yet uploading so sporadically, being very consistent and being inconsistent with the podcast. But I love this, and I think the last 2+ weeks have really showed me that I really have a passion for this, and this is what I want to do, and I absolutely love this. And so I'm doing a video here. It is weird me talking like into an actual podcast for once, and still doing my videos because I don't know who I'm talking to, and I don't even know if IGTV works yet. But because IGTV stopped working, I'm like, okay, well, I got to get the whole video out. I haven't uploaded the last 2 days, but I will to at least YouTube and probably the podcast. But I took this opportunity that something went wrong. What I've been talking about the last 2 weeks, something went wrong, and I wanted to turn it into a positive. So I couldn't keep sharing the videos on Instagram because I think just the how crowded it is and how busy the servers are, it's hard to upload IGTV. So I had to relaunch Find Your Fortitude. I didn't really relaunch it because it's still there, the same thing's up, but I just did this awesome podcast of my first 5 episodes of my Change Your Mindset series, which I did like 2 years ago. I clipped them all together and I did like I'm like a little kid learning how to play with a new toy. I spoke in between each video because I'm learning how to use GarageBand and stripping audio from videos and splitting clips and joining clips, and I just uploaded it and I just applied for Spotify. Big day for me for the podcast. Which I guess we can get to the point of the video. And the point that I want to talk about is just doing what you want to do. It's really that simple. I'm completely off focus here because I'm so excited about the podcast and that I just finally took that big step to really get serious about being serious with Find Your Fortitude. Because I love it. I absolutely love it. And listening to myself speak like 2 years ago, I don't like listening to myself speak at all. But hearing 2 years ago, because I had to listen to it to bring up the clips, it's crazy to listen to how far I've come. That's what I was going to talk about. It's wherever you are in your life right now, just because you're not there. And this goes way back to when I lost weight and I lost over 100 pounds and I got into bodybuilding. Even at my heaviest, my mindset never changed. I knew where I wanted to go. So even if your actions don't really match up with your goals, it doesn't mean there's something wrong or it's not going to happen. Obviously, you need the actions to get the results you want. But it all starts in the mind. Like I'm telling you, like I've told you the last, I don't know, let's say 15 days. It starts in your mind. Think your way out of a situation. There may be things you still need to experience before you get all the tools you need to get where you want to go. Man, I remember like I'm just popping diet pills. Like that's gonna be my magic trick. Because I knew where I wanted to go. I didn't have any of the tools. I got all the tools along the way, the nutrition, how to work out properly, how to isolate muscles, mind-muscle connection. And because of all that, I became a great trainer and I really learned a lot about nutrition and just your overall health, which boom, got me on the bodybuilding stage, which is now leading me down your mental health path. And just speaking in general, like the few speaking engagements that I've done, especially the one at the high school and middle school, I remember it's just what I want to do. Like, I love it. Like, I can't, today doesn't really do justice for how good I'm feeling because I'm just so excited. I'm all over the place. But whatever you want, whatever big thing you want, okay, it's all coming full circle. Like, now my mind's kind of slowing down and we're coming together here. Whatever that big goal you want, whatever your dream, whatever your vision, hold on to that tight. Hold on to it tight. Don't let anything stop you. Anybody change your mind. So that's what I was going to talk about. I've said that like 10 times. So when I started my podcast, somebody in my life said I wasn't going to be good at it or I didn't know anything about it. And they were right. I have no idea what the hell how to do a podcast, like an intro. I'm literally just learning an intro, and all I did was record, export something to iTunes, bring it back, and that's simple. But no, I didn't know what a podcast was. A person before Big Brother, before Big Brother, it was my goal to get on Big Brother, and the important person at the time in my life said, "Why would they want me on Big Brother? Nobody wants to watch me. I'd be horrible." Well, the only thing they were right about was that I didn't know what the hell was going on in the Big Brother house. But it gave me this platform to help and inspire and bring a smile. Even if it's for different reasons. It could be because you're smiling because of my motivation, or you could be smiling because you really want me to start an OnlyFans. Whatever that reason is, I like to bring smiles to people's faces. And some clown before that said, when I was starting to lose weight, said something like, you'll never be anything more than a trainer. I'm sure your parents are proud. First off, if I ever see that kid again, he's going through a wall right there. I'm joking. That's not a threat. It's a complete joke. I'm being funny. But the point of saying all that is, when people, especially close people in your life, this doesn't really refer to the first situation about the whole bouncer and I won't be anything more than that, but more so about when somebody important in your life says things like, why would you want to do a podcast? You have no idea how to do it. It's not going to be successful, which it's not right now, but I promise you it will be. This will be a very, very successful podcast. Or why would you want to go on a reality show, Big Brother? Like, nobody wants to watch you. You're boring. First off, whenever people in your life say negative things about your dreams, it doesn't matter what they're saying. If they're not, it doesn't matter how bad it is. If they're basically putting them down, they're telling you what you need to know. And that is, whether you're successful or not at it, whether you achieve it or not, they don't want to be a part of it. That's all you need to take away from it. For whatever reason, and don't take it personally. It's just a projection. It's just a projection of their insecurities and how they feel about what they're doing. But if you're around anybody who doesn't believe in your dreams, get away from them. Please, please, please get away from them. And if it's family and it's people you can't really get away from, or you don't want to, but you still want to protect that dream, stop talking about it with them. Stop talking about it in front of them. Whenever it gets brought up, cut it real quick. So I wanted to share that today, along with the growing of Find Your Fortitude. But this is kind of like a weird video because it's like half podcast, half actually a good message in there. It is a good message. So I'm going to repeat that message. That if somebody in your life essentially shits on your dream and tries to bring you down, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. They're telling you what you need to hear. And what you need to hear is that it doesn't matter whether you achieve that dream or not. They do not want to be a part of that dream. So you need to pick, is it them or is it your dream? Okay? I can't make that decision for you. Only you can. And man, so now we'll go back to the podcasting. Listening to myself talk a few years ago, it's actually kind of crazy to hear how far I've come. like I do these videos and I think they've all been at least 5-6 minutes. And for me, that's easy. Like I'm so much more comfortable talking in front of a camera, and just opening up and being honest and being real, raw, not caring what people think, understanding that it's not going to really resonate with a lot of people, but the few that it does affect, I love sharing and opening up about it. So listening to it, it's crazy, but that just brings me back to my initial point, which I made about 10 minutes ago, that even though I had no idea about a podcast, public speaking, didn't do any classes, didn't really do that many speaking engagements, scared public speaking, in my mind, I know what I want to be. Like I'm thinking it, like I know. And that's a great motivational speaker. So seeing how far I've come in 2 years, it all started with the thought of what I wanted to do. It really did. And I used to do videos like 2-3 minutes, struggling. It was 30 days straight, which was very impressive, an accomplishment in its own, especially for me who wanted to speak. But like I said, like 2-3 minutes, and I'm like, it wasn't as smooth, it wasn't as good, it wasn't as confident. So just to see the growth, I'm going to take this moment out to pat myself on the back, because I think everybody should pat themselves on the back for small things. Whether it's small or big, it's something, anything forward is something big. So you should really take time and take a moment and appreciate and give yourself a little pep talk, because you deserve it. On that note, if you're still here, it means you love me. It means you support me. And I love you. And the next thing that's coming is MJ Fitness. We're challenged. Like, we're all locked inside. Like, something big is happening with MJ Fitness. Just like I had to find your fortitude a little kick in the booty, you know, like it needed that. So MJ Fitness is next. But what I would love for you guys to do, please, for me, if you could go to the Apple Store, or now Spotify, not the Apple Store, the Apple Podcast, and just review, and please subscribe to my podcast. There's going to be a lot of good content, old content and new content. I would very much appreciate it. Again, I hope you know the podcast is called Find Your Fortitude by yours truly, Mark Jansen, Deborah Geiger's baby boy. And on that note, I wanted to I copied a review from the podcast, because I actually went on Apple Podcasts to make sure my podcast was still there. It's been so inactive, but that's going to change. But the top review, they gave me 5 stars, which was very nice. And I've always liked Mark, still do. I'm not too sure the podcast game is his forte yet. It's not my forte yet. They continue. He is full of useful information and tips. However, if you want to hear a grown man whine/pout and attempt to get you inspired, then this is a podcast for you. Strong emoji. You know, the bicep emoji, which is getting small. Whine, pout. See, back when I first started with all this after Big Brother, that was like a big concern for me, in the sense that I don't care if people think I'm what they say, because it really doesn't bother me, but I don't like sympathy from people. Everything I've been through, it's not me whining or pouting. It's me trying to share my experiences to help people change their perspective on life. That is my mission with this. It's not, I was bullied as a kid. No, like, I'm fucking happy I was bullied as a kid. It gave me a new perspective to help inspire kids not to be bullies, and push me to hit the weight so I don't really take shit from quote unquote bullies. And the last thing I don't like share, like, I don't even tell, like, some people that know me don't even know that I lost both my parents, and then I lost my aunt a few years after I lost my mom, the one that I went to live with, because it's not a sob story. I share that because if I've gone through all that, like, I'm just sharing, like, people go through some real shit, and it's not a sob story. Like, I'm very, like, the relationship I had with my mom, and not growing up without a dad, and experienced more loss after my mom, it's it changed everything for me. And if anybody who's listened to me for an extended period of time understands that, I really do view it as a blessing, because, man, I'll take 17 years of that relationship with my mom, plus however many years of pain I'm going to have knowing I lost her, along with other loved ones. I'll take that any day over a lifetime of an average relationship. That's how extraordinary my mother was, and that's why I share those things. So, find your fortitude. This podcast, my passion. My passion. Like, I'm excited. I haven't been this excited over something other than the gym or fitness or self-growth in a very long time. So, this was interesting because this is the first time I actually been doing like a legit podcast with the headphones and all of it. Like, it's actually cool. I'm actually like getting recorded right now. And I have a video. We got everything working. It's a beautiful day. I'm screaming though. The bars are going a little too high, so I'm still going to be tweaking it, but this was a huge first step for me, and I hope you guys get a positive message out of this. And I want to thank everybody for the love and support, and just kind of reflecting. And I didn't really do anything or say anything because it was a below average first year of my podcast. But again, that's not how I think about it. I think about it as I did it, and now it was a first step, and now we're going to keep growing. Somebody told me, a good friend of mine was like, man, this year really sucked for us. I'm like, no, it didn't suck. It was a growing year. This was a growing year. And like Buddhists say, it's suffering is life. Life is suffering. But if you learn how to not necessarily enjoy the suffering, but thrive, appreciate, and you can look at it however you want. This is just how I look at things. More so appreciate the suffering. Because when you learn how to appreciate the suffering, you find a lot of good in a lot of dark areas where a lot of people don't. And it just changes your perspective, your outlook on life. And that changes everything. Once you change your mindset, you change your lifestyle. And it's a beautiful thing. That was a very unorganized podcast. And clearly unscripted for the person who said that my podcast seems scripted. Clearly, I don't script shit because that was so off topic. Any legit podcaster would redo it. But I ain't a legit podcaster. I speak my mind. I speak from the heart. And today's a good day. I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll be back.